almost stumble. Did you ever have the struggle like me? Whether you want to stay close to your parents or just trying to be you? It takes me 2 hours of high-speed train to get back home. So somehow for me it's easier to come back, even each week, if I want. How about you? I know in Western countries, the population density is not like us. So you probably drive, you live in other state, you drive back. It can easily take you 5 to 10 hours, right? How is the frequency that you go back to see your parents? Let me know. And how you balance that feelings of guilty as you grow and as your parents grow. But look here, I still got some gifts from Shanghai for my parents and aunties. Get across the road. My hometown is actually like a tier 3 city in China, but take a view, it's a very ordinary park here. You can still see it's big, and with all of that gardenings, you see all the plants. The population of the city is less than 1 million. Sounds huge, but actually the size of city is quite small in China. Cities like Shanghai, like Chengdu, Guangzhou, Beijing can easily go over 25 million. Small cities like this is actually very good for the senior people to live, but kids like me who grow up in here, we go to other cities for college study, and then we are more likely to work in other cities instead of coming back to the tier 3 or tier 4 cities, because you are not likely to find a job that's relevant to your major in the university. So you don't get paid as much as you expect. So you have to, in some words, you have to leave the city where you grow up, because there's no place for you. But some of my primary school classmates, like middle school classmates, they will still stay here, maybe run a very small business, but their life pattern is very streamlined. You can see they work and they play mahjong, they play cards at night, and repeat that pattern day after day. Like they do it in their 30s and till they die maybe. But if you live in bigger cities, I think the life experience is much more diverse, and for me, I can say more healthy. It's not just dull. It's not dull, but it's more healthy. You got to learn to explore and enjoy your life instead of just repeat itself like day after day, doing the same thing and playing cards. For me, mahjong, not healthy, and many people get addicted to that because they usually trade money for the play, right? So not a thing for me. Yeah. For some time, I thought about if I can do some business here, so I'm closer to my parents. I can take care of them, often see them. But it's kind of hard choice between pursuing your own dreams and life expectations, or stay close to parents and so you can provide more for them. I chose the first one, which makes me a little bit guilty as well, as my parents get older. I think it's a universal struggle for my generation, who's probably born after 90s, who are more likely to already in their 30s, this is my primary school. I think the kids are inside. The water is a bit dirty because there are many people used to wash their clothes in the river. I remember I can actually go swim in this river when I was a little kid, like 3-5 years old. My dad, sometimes he brought me to swim in the river, and then it gets so dirty. Now even it does not have so many stuff floating on the river, but still it's super dirty. It's not clean anymore, and I think that's a big problem. Sometimes in many cities, like they find it hard to balance economic growth and environment protection. But it's normal, I think. You need to feed yourself to make sure you have the food on the table for most of the families first, and then you do the protection. Some people will say, yes, you can do that at the same time, but maybe it's very hard because like 2 generations ago, my grandpa's generation, they starved. They went through wars, starving. There were people dying because of poverty. So I think even now, poverty can be a thing for China. Even we have in general have solved the problem, but China is so big, so there are provinces, cities are still struggling from providing enough food. And how to benefit the farmers to help them grow their economy is still a big challenge and a big focus for the for the government here. And here, in every neighborhood, we have this, let's say, a very mini playground where the senior people can come to exercise, the kids can come to play. It's a beetle. Kids can climb ups and downs, and also for muscle training. And this I don't know. That one is for boxing, but this one, I don't know. So very simple training gears. But I think with that, kind of provide some entertainment for the old people, and it's not just for exercise. They gather here for a chat. Just keep themselves engaged in the society instead of being forgot. Old people are likely to have such problems. Their brain gets slower, and the kids are away from them. So how to make their life meaningful while they still can is a topic for every kids, you know, if you want your parents to stay here healthy. And the living expense in even a tier 3 city can be high. Like this apartment is around 100 square meters each one, and guess how much? In tier 3 cities, it costs you over 1 million RMB, which equals to 170,000 US dollars to buy one. And the price, I think it costs 2 generations to pay for this house. If you don't get the prepayment from your parents, if they don't get to pay for that, then you are not likely to afford an apartment in your early age. If you're fighting for that by yourself, it's very challenging. The average income in my city, my hometown, is around maybe less than $1,000 per month. So if you compare that monthly salary with the real estate price, then you know it's still a super huge number. Sometimes I will envy the lives living in a small city because it's much less crowded and people you're so familiar with. But considering you still got so many years to live, I still want to live a life that I want instead of being comfortable in the short run.